Borderlands on Borderlands, Brad.
It's Borderlands as far as the eye can see.
That's right. All types of Borderlands here on this Xbox One of mine. This is the Handsome Collection, which is Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel.
No Borderlands 1?
No Borderlands 1.
Still find that slightly baffling.
Yeah.
Do they just assume nobody wants to play Borderlands 1 at this point?
Well, I don't know, maybe. I mean, the Handsome Collection implies that these are tales of Handsome Jack.
That's fair.
And he figures heavily into both of these games.
That's,
so this is like it's a $60 package.
Turn this shit off.
Oh, jeez. Mark of quality, right? It's a $60 package of those two games plus DLC.
Okay. Has DLC started coming out for pre-sequel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Or maybe it's finished coming out at this point. I don't know.
I have not been following Borderlands the pre-sequel at all after playing a chunk of it, not liking it, and then going back and forcing myself to play more because I've enjoyed Borderlands, kind of a lot over the years, and just didn't do anything for me. This has save import. You can upload your saves from, in this case, the Xbox 360 version of the game and download it into the Xbox One version of the game. On the Sony side, my understanding is you can go Vita, PS3, PS4. For Borderlands 2, pre-sequel doesn't have a Vita version, obviously. So I imported my level 35 character that I used primarily when reviewing Borderlands 2. And yeah. And then at some point I switched and kind of played a lot of the game again on PC because that's a better version of the game.
That was a good version.
It's still a better version of the game than this. I haven't seen it on PS4, but haven't played Xbox One a fair amount here. Or not that much, actually. I played a couple hours of it. It looks all right. There's some spots where the frame rate has been pretty rough.
I heard there's a lot of tearing in this version also. Not seeing any of that though here.
Yeah. Ew.
Did he just spit did he upchuck a bone at you?
Yeah, probably.
I saw a bone in there. It's skags are fucking just nasty creatures.
Anyway, I am at a place in this game where I don't know what any of these weapons are. Like you take a lot of time away, and I finished Borderlands 2 feeling like I never found any weapons that I truly wanted to keep. And that's still the case. Like, I just looking at the stuff that I've had and stuff that I've found since I started playing this version of the game, I'm just not happy about it. I'm just not happy with the weapons that I found during my playthrough of Borderlands 2.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Like never found anything?
Yeah, just, in Borderlands 1, I felt like I found like a style of weapon that I preferred, and then stuck with weapons like that where I could.
But hang on, you're telling me among millions of guns, there was nothing?
I never found one that I was like, okay, this is awesome.
Like, you would think
Instead, it was just like, oh, well, this one, uses 3 shots every time you pull the trigger, so the magazine size is actually really shitty. And
you would think that their gun machine, their gun generator, would eventually have spit something out that approximated that
maybe
style.
I just had bad luck.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
That seems crazy.
But yeah, it just
over the course of the entire game, not to find anything.
Yeah. So I started playing some of the DLC that I didn't touch, like the Tiny Tina?
Yeah, that's the one that I've
Dungeons and
always
Dragons
been
thing.
Curious about.
And I'm at a point with that where I need a fire weapon in order to proceed. It's like, oh, you need to blow up these airships with a fire weapon, and sure enough, I don't have any fire weapons.
That sucks.
And then I went to the vending machine, and there was no fire weapon there. So
That seems like the kind of thing that maybe they should just have provided in the interest of letting you move the story along.
Yeah, that was sort of my feeling on it at the time too. So so what I did, my alternative was, well, I'm going to turn this off. And then now here we are. I never actually finished the
DLC.
Finished that quest, and we still don't have a fire weapon. But I'm going to go back to the zone here for that Tiny Tina DLC.
It's very cheeky, the name of the area.
Sure.
Sandbar, yep. I don't know how much of that you can do.
about that much.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. That's sort of
like I don't know that you can necessarily get away with calling every single area in the DLC something along those lines.
Yeah. So this is you know this is set as a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Yeah.
Or you know whatever their not D&D thing is, but and the characters from the first Borderlands and Tiny Tina are playing a game, and then you get to play through it. So you know, there's a VO that'll pop up and you know, to kind of fill in the story. All right. I'm not sure what I have grenade-wise these days.
Poison that skeleton.
So we probably won't hear much of that VO here because, you know, I'm already in the middle of a mission.
Hey.
So it's kind of like, you know, before you take on story missions and stuff like that, you'll get it. But, oh, this guy respawns, huh?
I remember that guy. We came here on my Extra Life stream year before last when I was level 23, I think? 22? Something like that.
Meet my lady friend.
We were under-leveled such that it took like 5 to 10 minutes to kill one of these guys.
Oh, wow. Man,
it was really something else.
That doesn't seem like a particularly fun way to play the game.
No, and then
yeah.
we got to this, you know, this bony pants guy and just like couldn't do anything. Which was a real bummer because I wanted to see how this DLC went.
Yeah, I mean, the DLC will scale, but yes,
I mean,
shooting the walls, smart move, great stuff.
I think it's a minimum level 30,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think that's the case. Oh, jeez.
Oh, there you go.
Solves that problem.
Man, you have a lot of health and shields.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. Importing a character is kind of strange because it pulls in some stuff, like your badass rank does come in. Oh, jeez. None of these weapons are loaded.
Oh, you're in a bad way. Yep.
Eh, not that bad. I mean, it's... Oh, actually, yeah, there we go.
Surprised more games haven't stolen that second wind mechanic.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool way to kind of handle the down but not out state. But if we get into the town, you can kind of get... There's this asshole.
Say
Here,
hello, beautiful.
just here. Ooh.
Yeah, this seems to be getting the job right.
Reload is so slow. Max health, 35%. That sounds all
That
right.
seems pretty good. That is a large percentage.
What do I have equipped now, though? 19% shield. Yeah, I'll take 35% health over 19% shield. Why not? Those are higher numbers.
Yep. Yeah, that is a significant health boost.
Hang on. Yeah, I think you know, I a lot of times I just playing through Borderlands 2, I felt like, yeah, it was taking forever to do damage. 41% second wind health. That's kind of an interesting one. Oh.
Where's that sound coming from? He doesn't have a tongue. He doesn't have vocal cords.
I mean, lots of skeletons talk, man.
How do skeletons make sound?
They clack their... Look.
That was very clearly some kind of throat sound, and that guy doesn't have a throat.
I mean, skeletons are weird,
I'm
right?
calling bullshit. Yes, you're right. Skeletons are weird.
It's about time someone said it.
Hey man, skeletons live among us. They're everywhere.
What?
Everywhere you look.
Nah, you're just being weird.
Walk into a crowded place in public, you look out at all the people around you, there might very well be a skeleton or two in there. You would never know. Who's this guy?
That's a
rock golem.
Rock golem of some kind. Let's throw this thing out and see how it does. I kind of want to level up and see if I get like all the achievements for like reaching level 5 and stuff like that. Because yeah, when you import your character, as I was saying, there are a lot of achievements related to progress in the game that you would have already gotten with that character that sort of doesn't come in. I'm just gonna hack that guy. Whatever.
Score one bogey.
Ugh. Whoa. Oh, this guy's still alive, huh? Oh, there are two of them.
There's more. Well, I'm gonna be really sad if you get back up to the mission objective and just like still don't have a fire weapon.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that something will drop, or by the time we get to the vending machines, there'll be something in there.
Yeah, you think surely they'd let you buy it or something.
Yeah, I would think it would just be like, hey, the nearest vending machine is set to always have a fire weapon.
Right.
It technically sucks, but it'll at least let you complete this dumb quest. Like that seems like that's sort of a
burn a few airships.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Let's smash stuff. Oh, jeez. Can't even do that right. Yeah, I don't know. These weapons are super underwhelming. I guess that's just where I left off playing Borderlands 2. I started playing the DLC of Borderlands 2. Like, I played this shotgun with the... That's from the pirate DLC they did.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what they even put out. That was like a sand pirate thing, right?
Yeah.
And then
skiffs and stuff. And then they did the Captain Torg's badassness.
Sure. That one.
He's the guy who yells a lot.
Okay.
He actually makes an appearance in this one, in this DLC as well.
How do you get into this area? Like, what's their story reason for this all happening? Or is
there
this
isn't
happening?
one. All the DLC has always been just it adds a new fast travel point to your map, a new zone.
Right. Well, this one specifically. I mean, is this actually taking place in the world of Borderlands, or is
no?
This
None
just
of them do. Like it's all every as soon as you go to a zone for like DLC stuff, there's basically like a cutscene of the Russian guy.
Right.
So I'm like, yes, I'll tell you a story of the Borderlands.
Okay.
And so, like, none of it's really...
I couldn't remember if this is supposed to just be, like, happening in Tiny Tina's imagination or something.
Well, this is specifically happening because, yes, because they're playing,
D&D,
they're
effectively.
playing a game of D&D.
Oh, you almost got it. No, maybe. Oh.
This is not going to be the gun
Get a
for it.
headshot,
Neither's this.
Okay.
All right. Ugh. Alright. Let's get some stuff here. I think also, probably part of, the stuff they've done with the Borderlands 2 characters makes a lot of sense in terms of making a more playable multiplayer game and the interplay between the classes and stuff. But as someone who, doesn't necessarily play the Borderlands games multiplayer primarily, like I found them to be perfectly fun alone, and certainly have played the multiplayer, but it's not always the way I play them. Like they've reduced the survivability or I guess that was my feeling coming out of Borderlands 2 was like the Borderlands 1 characters, or at least Roland, was basically unfucking stoppable.
Right.
And you could spec him in such a way that was just like, all right, I'm never going to have a problem. I've got regenerating ammo. I've got regenerating everything. Like, it ain't a problem. And
so, like in this, they maybe specialize the classes a little more?
A little bit more, yeah. It seems like they've just made them a little less survivable on their own and create a situation where, like, oh, they've spread these skills out amongst a couple of different ones, so you can't really... can't really do that as well.
Magic's no match for a well-aimed bullet.
upgraded.
Just nothing, huh?
Customization skin. I don't know that.
You vault hunters always pay your debts.
Do these all have weapons? No.
You're in the right place.
So are you just screwed on the fire weapon again?
Might be. Also, Fire Nova. I wouldn't be able to hit it from here with a Fire Nova.
My bullets have magic, but they are cheap.
Man.
Yield goodbye.
Anyway, yeah, I guess I can go to.
Love about this village.
What's the other zone that I was in? The Badass Crater of Badassitude, I think is where that other DLC is. I think. Anyway, I guess I can track the quest that I had here.
Frame rate seems tolerable in this.
So
I don't know if we.
You know, I'll go back to Sanctuary. Let's run around a little bit here for a second,
All right.
and then I'll run back because it was always. It seemed like whenever you got back into town, it just ran real bad. So, yeah. Actually, I guess well, wait, no. There is a quest I have that is. No. There it is. Okay. Where do I need to go for that? Okay. Let's catch a ride, as it were. Let's just look, and these probably all on this. Well, that's not even. None of those are gun machines. How much Borderlands did you play? I mean, have you?
I finished the first one.
Yeah.
And then lost the save.
Oh.
So I'll probably never play that game again.
Sure.
Like I said, got to like level 22, 3, something like that in 2. And I don't know, like I enjoyed that game plenty. I was playing it full on, like at my desk, mouse and keyboard style, but
yeah,
for whatever reason, just burned out on it. I don't know. Like, does that game end well?
Borderlands 2?
Yeah.
Not especially.
Or this game, I should say.
Yeah. No, I didn't especially like the story stuff.
Like the end of Borderlands 1 was so underwhelming, you know?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
underwhelming.
it was.
That by the time I was like kind of not having as much fun with 2, I just sort of like petered out on it. Like there was nothing about what I expected to be coming up that made me feel like I should necessarily keep going.
And see, I obsessed with Borderlands 1 and finished all the side stuff and finished the second playthrough.
Right.
And did all the DLC and, you know, Craw Marax and all the, you know, all that shit.
Sure.
So when Borderlands 2 came out, I needed it to be more than it was.
Yeah.
In order to put that kind of time into it. It just too similar in a lot of ways. Like the changes they made to just like the loadout slots and just like, oh, now you have a relic slot or this and that, and you know, those ways of kind of differentiating the characters just didn't necessarily work for me.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it was like inarguably a better game mechanically.
Yeah, they cleaned up a lot of stuff, but I think the story was dumb.
Right, but still the same game. Like,
yeah,
you know, there were some quality of life, like convenience features and stuff in there, but still Borderlands. Like at a certain point.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
What?
I'm trying to. Yeah, the way they. Is my eyes playing tricks on me? The way they handle the level of detail with the grass makes it look like the grass is just growing out of the ground everywhere you drive.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Instead of popping in, like it looks like it's literally growing in front of you.
Yep, that's
amazing.
That is indeed what they do.
So this is almost more like, hey, we know the pre-sequel isn't that old, so here you can buy the pre-sequel on new consoles and get Borderlands 2 for free.
You could probably think of it that way, I guess. Yeah. I think there are a lot of different ways to break it down and think about it.
Well, I'm just thinking about the potential audience for this. Like, I bet most of them have already played Borderlands 2, but I bet considerably fewer of those people have played the pre-sequel.
Yeah, you might be right.
It also really makes me wonder what Gearbox proper is doing with Borderlands right now.
So they got up on stage at PAX South, I think it was, and said, "Hey, we're ready to start on the next Borderlands. We just need people. We're hiring." And so,
all right, so that's probably a ways off.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, oh god. Like, to put out pre-sequel last fall and then immediately follow up with, like, a proper Borderlands 3, like, say, this fall, would have been crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that's too much. But if that game is, like, a good 2-3 years away...
Well, I think it also depends on what they're doing. I mean, they didn't do Borderlands pre-sequel. Like,
Well,
it was 2K Australia.
Oh,
so,
I know that.
You know,
but
if that meant that they were working on a game that was, you know, significantly different and you know, like a proper sequel, then I think that could still work.
I guess so, but when I say too much, I mean, like, just saturating the market with Borderlands games. Not necessarily, like, how much time they're spending on it, but it's just, like, how many of these games are coming out.
Sure.
Like, at a certain point, you start to fatigue even people who like the product, you know?
Yeah.
Or the franchise.
I want this to be great. I want Borderlands to be great. Like, there's some really great fundamental stuff about it as, like, a, you know, a loot-based shooter that that could be amazing, but I think, like, they've stumbled with story, and the sequels just haven't differentiated themselves enough, or differentiated themselves in kind of crappy ways, like the low gravity stuff in the pre-sequel. We'll get to that, but I don't like it very much at all.
Yeah, I've never actually seen the pre-sequel, so I'm kind of curious to see what that stuff looks like.
Yeah, it's a case where I didn't have a character for that game on 360, so I had nothing to import. So we'll be pretty early on in the game, but
that's fine.
Yeah. Wait, where am I?
Remember when they registered Border Worlds?
Yep.
I wonder if that idea still has legs.
Well, you know, it's like, what does that even...
I almost feel like the series is better off staying more like Diablo scale. You know, it's like, you can have your 4-person parties and stuff, but, like, making it a...
If you make it a proper MMO, at some point you're making Hellgate London.
Kinda, yeah.
Which is maybe a weird thing to make, but...
kind of sacrificing some things about it to make it fit into the, you know, shoehorn it into the MMO mold.
Yeah, maybe you're probably right. At the same time, I think that there's a lot more they could do. I think they should get away from named characters for these classes and get into, like, full-on character creation.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And, like, visual differentiation for, like, you know, you unlock these different looks for your characters, but they're just it's a whole cloth, like, hey, here's how this guy looks.
Right.
And it's not like, hey, I put in this, you know, you don't have armor, right? You know, you have a shield and you have then that's it. For that sort of stuff. So yeah, I guess I always kind of thought that some visual differentiation for your characters. So when other characters see you, they see you and go, "Oh man, that guy's badass."
Some bigger shoulder pads is what you're saying?
Yeah, totally. Pauldrons. Solves every problem.
Yeah.
Had to break it off when she devoured one of my other girlfriends alive. Nobody eats my lady friends but me. Oh, God. Too far. That was in bad taste. Vomited in my mouth a little bit. Sorry. The innuendo
yeah.
defense mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah, about that story stuff. Ellie is the mechanic, right?
Who?
Ellie, on that billboard.
I have no idea.
I think I remember her.
Yeah.
Wasn't she the major quest giver?
Okay. I kind of wonder if I should continue on this track or if I should go back and go to Sanctuary so you can kind of see what that looks like.
Let's see that.
I mean, we should just move on to the pre-sequel. And
well, if you can just warp right there, I just want to kind of see what the low of the
what's going to be the
performance
fastest way to do that. It's going to be get to there. We've got a vehicle right here. That won't take long. Go to Sanctuary and take a look. It's downloaded. Well, it downloaded a patch actually before I started playing. I don't think it's downloaded. I don't think it's patched since then. So I assume that'll still be an issue. But hey, let's go find out. going this way.
Follow the road, I think.
Yeah.
They ever do any racing stuff in these games?
Yeah, but it's all real bad.
Yeah, I guess it would be. Driving these things is not like the most precise
Like
thing in
the
world.
worst thing they've done in this game, quest design-wise, I think, has been like anytime they put a timer on anything,
Yeah.
it's real bad.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's not just racing. That's like even going out and getting stuff, right?
Like, go get to all these mailboxes before
Yeah.
time expires. Like, that quest sucks.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like super easy if you're playing multiplayer because you just put someone at the different mailboxes and they just go.
Sure.
Okay, so here we are.
This is the post liftoff sanctuary. I assume. Well, this is a finished. This is a complete save.
This is
so it must be.
yeah. This is the finished the game
I don't know if
sanctuary.
I ever got to that point or not. I can't remember if my sanctuary lifted off before I stopped playing.
Yeah, this is not so bad.
Yeah, it seems decent.
Makes me wonder if my Xbox One at home is fucked up.
Yeah.
Actually, because it's not a problem.
Sanctuary will endure.
Interesting.
Yeah, this looks totally fine. I've been thinking about like wiping mine and redoing it. Just kind of factory resetting it.
Yeah.
I have so many problems with instant on and weird stuff like that. I wonder if just after a certain number of firmware updates it just starts getting, you know...
You wouldn't think that would be a problem.
Yeah, you would hope not.
But yeah. Let's see if we get a fire gun. Come on! Nope. All right, let's quit out of this. Actually, I'm gonna just look at the server browser and see how many people are playing.
That is a weird-ass gun.
Yeah.
Huh.
This is exactly what it was doing prior to release too.
Huh.
So I don't know. That's well, maybe no one's playing. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this.
Nor do I.
Because I think it tries to match up by level.
Yeah, I
so
was
you
gonna
think
say.
like if people didn't import characters, they wouldn't be level 35, or probably wouldn't be level 35 yet.
Man, the idea that nobody did, though? That's the middle of the day. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Who can say? All right, other Borderlands.
Other Borderlands, as you may know, takes place on the moon above Pandora.
Yep, I did know that.
And that giant H-shaped spacecraft, which is where we're going to be when we load up here. So they added like additional characters and stuff to both of these games after release. And I believe my character here is the Jack Doppelganger.
Okay. That's a pretty good sound effect.
Yeah.
For your studio location in Australia.
Yeah, and then Armature did the port work on this one.
Interesting. Yeah, they like Borderlands 2 ended up with like what 6 classes by the end, I think.
They added two.
The
They had the Psycho
and the Psycho.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
then,
here we are on the moon with a fake Jack or real, I don't know.
Is he supposed to be like an android? Like, or is it just there is no explanation?
I think he's a look-alike because Jack, there are people that want to kill him or something.
Okay.
So, though in the context of who Jack is and stuff, like at this point in the story, it's a little weird for him to. Anyway, this game actually is better about having the game address you with whatever your character class is and have that be meaningful. So it actually makes like Claptrap as a playable character work.
Okay.
Because they just treat him like shit. There's just a lot of like, oh, fuck, great. This is what. Oh yeah, you're gonna. Okay, yeah.
That's pretty good.
So when Jack sees you for the first time here in this kind of opening thing, it's like, oh, the clone I ordered is, or whatever it is. The doppelganger's here.
Like, these
like
games,
that,
I think, are still capable of being funny.
Oh yeah,
Sure. Like, there's still a lot of room to do good stuff there. Like,
Yeah, I think like that's I think like part of why some of the writing in this game and in 2 has been so disappointing, because I think like the capability is definitely there
Yeah.
for this stuff to work, and it just falls flat more than it should. I think Borderlands 1, you know, took fewer chances along those lines and stuff, but I think it hit a little bit more frequently too. Like the characters were good enough, you know,
Sure.
it worked.
It was always kind of jarring to me in 2 when they took the characters that had been basically silent protagonists from the first one and gave them like voices and personalities.
Yeah,
you know?
I thought that was super weird.
All right, looks like you got a shield. Pretty self-explanatory, really. It'll eat bullets until it depletes. When it does, you gotta hide and give it time to recharge. Hey, just let me activate the defense controls. A few seconds. We'll
Apparently,
have turrets,
Doppelganger
force
Jack has
fields,
his eyes
laser
in his
wires.
chest.
These assholes won't know what hit them.
Critical failure. Helios defense systems are being jammed.
What? How?
Jamming signal originates from Elpin, Pandora's moon.
Oh crap! Kill the turrets! Kill the turrets!
Hang on.
Killed the turrets.
I killed the turrets.
All right, plan B. If we can't take
Is
Helios
Jack
back,
less of an
we need to
asshole in this
evacuate.
at this point in the
Escape ships are this
storyline?
way.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that the story is trying to do
Hey,
is like
other Jack.
one of the characters, one of the playable characters from this game gets captured by like the Borderlands 1 crew and is like, tell me why you're doing here, tell me what's going on, and they start painting a picture of Jack as like a heroic figure.
Helios has been breached.
Which I never finished this game, so I don't know. By the end of it, you have some set up reasons as to why Jack is such a piece of shit, or there's some tearing.
Yeah.
Some tearing here that I feel like we didn't see in Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a taint.
Do you think expecting a perfect 60 frames a second out of these last-gen ports is just kind of like a reasonable given?
It's one of those really hard things where it makes me question like the power of these consoles and all this other stuff.
I guess so.
That it's not that.
Right.
That these games still both look better on the PC.
Yeah. Well, that's natural. Like, of course, you know, anything.
Yeah, because I mean, you're going to go above 1080 or whatever.
Right.
But like that.
Well, there's always effects they can add on the PC that these machines just eventually wouldn't be able to handle. But more to the point, like,
Hey, that's unnerving.
don't you think it's fair to expect them to optimize it and, like, you know, remove detail if they have to, or features, graphical features?
I mean, I think so.
Perfect. Destroyed the ships.
Like, if you're gonna do it, at least do that.
What the hell was that?
Oh well, it's one of those things where if they're, you know, the one thing they can tout as this part of this release is like, oh, it's gonna look great,
Keep running.
and then I look at it and go like, actually, I mean, it doesn't look as great as it probably could or should.
Yeah.
Well, could I can't say. Like whatever. I'm not a graphics programmer.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
fucking
no.
know.
Right.
But like as a consumer who has spent a lot of time playing Borderlands and played a lot of it on the PC, like these are not great looking versions of the game by comparison.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it looks better than it did on 360 PS3. Like obviously it would,
Losing connection.
but it's not enough. Like
Yeah.
you know.
I called you an asshole because I thought I'd hung up.
And I think like the quality of the visuals in this game is actually like a little frustrating to me. It's just like this isn't like why would they sell this? This isn't, it's not good enough. Like when you think about like when people say like, hey, we're remastering this thing in HD, we're doing that, you know, like or whatever, like that's purely like a proposition of visuals,
Right.
and like visually, I just don't think this stuff looks that much better.
Like, it limits the audience to people who never played it on any platform before
Yeah,
and don't have anything to play it on other than these new consoles, you know?
yeah, and yeah, this version's tearing like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's oof.
Yeah, it's pretty
Woof.
gross. Ugh. Kind of distracting.
Ugh.
I mean, to be fair, you know, not everybody has a decent PC to play games on.
Sure, yeah, totally,
But-
yeah, no, it's
But what I mean is there's not enough here for people. Like, if you already played this on the 360, there's not necessarily enough to come back for here.
right. Like the idea that like, oh, finally a better looking Borderlands 2. Like no, like at some
Right.
point it's like, well, maybe you have a Borderlands 2 character but you didn't buy the DLC, and you didn't buy any of the other Game of the Year editions or something. So this is a way for you to get that, and it looks better along the way, or something like that. Like, it's a weird proposition.
Right. For the most part, it's like never played it on the old machines and doesn't have a decent PC. Like that's kind of the audience.
Yeah. Especially because I feel like right before these things came out, the Steam versions of these games were like Borderlands 2 was like $5.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've got a stupid idea. We're gonna head to that moonshot cannon. Follow me. What is this moonshot thing we're headed for again? Basically a huge gun that shoots supplies down to the...
Wait, is that the first time the player character has spoken in these games? They didn't talk in 2, did they?
They don't really talk in 2, no. You'll get call-outs when they throw out like a turret or when they activate powers and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of the other pre-sequel change is that, it's how they make that stuff work. Like you get addressed as your character, your character specifically, and you respond in a meaningful way too. Like, they did the writing work to make that stuff happen.
That's kind of cool. You guys freaking out?
I'm freaking out too.
Something weird going on here.
Am I even doing... I don't see anything coming off this thing, numbers-wise. Am I even doing damage?
You're even a level above that thing. So, you got me.
Oh, yeah. I guess he's like one of the...
I guess he's a friendly. Yeah, whatever.
Crackly Jason voice, crackling to life through whatever frayed wire connection he's coming into us on. Follow Jack. All right, sure.
Didn't expect me to hire ball touchers now, did ya? Welcome to the war. Freaking Lost Legion.
I have no idea why these doll guys want Jack dead.
Yeah, so a lot of the story is told this way, through this Athena character being interrogated.
Whoever needed a reason out here.
Which is a little weird when you're playing a one-player game and you're not playing as Athena, but, it's fine. Here's kind of our first boss fight. I think I'll get my action skill as right around here. I think is usually how it ends up.
Not much of a boss.
No.
It seems.
No, it's kind of...
La la la. No shit.
Summon 2 Digijacks to fight and die for you. They lose health constantly until they die. When one dies, a new one will be summoned near you. Press and hold to end it early and get a reduction in your cooldown. Okay, well.
He's out of his power suit. Freaking Lost Legion.
They weren't kidding. Those are digital jacks.
Yep.
So I'm guessing you're very near the point where you go to the moon.
Yeah, you get launched out of a cannon and go to the moon here. You have to do some jumping around and stuff. So.
Isn't this installation like attached to the moon in 2? Or did I dream that?
No,
up?
they launch shots out of this cannon to launch supplies. And
but this thing is always in orbit. For some reason, I thought I remembered seeing this thing like jammed into the planet.
Well, this game is set before Borderlands 2.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In 2, I thought it had like crashed into the moon.
That may have been the case.
I don't know. Whatever.
Let me get the elevator. jamming the elevator up there?
No, I know. You need to open this way so I can go.
Right, weird idea.
Let me just save you some time here, Jack. Ooh.
Watch your step.
That'll be a hell of a fall.
This might be a problem because I got a thing with height. This is
I like games where you hear the voice coming out of somebody locally,
Hold on, I'm gonna spin the cylinder.
and then the farther you get away from them,
It's like slowly transitions to
switches,
radio.
yeah, switches over to radio.
I like that too.
That's a neat touch.
Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
Free up the elevator so I can join you. Yeesh, you got waist in tight. No big deal though, they can't feel pain. Just bash them out of there. Oh, these loaders bum me
Here's
out.
how
So
you
wonder
learn,
dogs like
to
us
punch
over so
things.
easily.
Uh-huh.
I need more soldiers.
badasses like you.
All right. I think we'll have to shoot some guys here.
Woo! We made it. All right, we just got to get into a moonshot.
Freedom Hyperion shall not.
After we kill this asshole.
I do appreciate that objective was named "Kill That Asshole."
Yeah.
The auto
Sure.
shot controls are damaged. Someone's got to stay back and launch the pods manually. I'd suggest my body double, but he's way too hot to die.
Getting uncomfortable now.
All right, new plan. I'll stay behind. I need you down on the moon. You gotta find that jamming signal and shut it down. Otherwise, we'll never get control of the moon base and we can kiss that vault goodbye. You're gonna stay and die? Shouldn't we switch places or something? Ah, you saved my life a couple of times. I'm repaying the favor. Besides, I'm a hero, baby. Self-sacrifice is part of the job. Oh, good. A health machine. I had one put in here after a worker had an accident and lost his torso. Better heal up before your trip down to the moon. Might want to grab some ammo, too. Supplies over here.
Yeah, I don't need any of
We
that.
need to get a moonshot container up here. Normally, we'd load some supplies, but this time, you're the cargo.
Come back anytime.
Okay, loaded a canister. Oh, is it up here? Is it down? I can never remember.
Okay, this container ought to do the trick.
Go down here and around. Oh,
Container's all ready. Just
that was pretty awesome.
Okay.
He's so regretting this decision.
Yeah, I'll see you after you shut down that jamming signal.
I like how the dialogue just keeps going while you're dead.
Yeah.
Your limbs. Loading you into the delivery chamber. This is gonna be loud and slightly awesome.
You're telling me Jack, handsome Jack, the guy who murdered my boyfriend, stayed behind while you escaped?
Like hell.
Whether his decision was heroic or purely strategic, I can't say. But if Jack hadn't stayed behind to eject the pod, I might well have died on Helios.
Your story is making Handsome Jack kind of sympathetic. I hate it.
All right, we're ready to fire. Whenever you're ready, I'll shoot you to Concordia. It's the biggest town on Elpis. I know someone there who can help you find that jamming signal.
Alrighty.
Okay, let's run around the moon a little bit and
shot down
see
the
how it holds
moon.
up, and then we'll call it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's a kind of weird.
Open fire!
It's like, okay, well, what's the audience for this sort of stuff? And yeah, I guess you're right. It's people that don't have a PC that could run a better and often cheaper version
Right.
of the game.
But also aren't already tired of playing it on the previous gen.
Yeah.
Which might be a lot of people, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the value proposition on a lot of the HD remaster stuff seems highly questionable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some of it-
at least with this one, you're getting 2 full games plus DLC. So like
Sure.
the hours of content here is like that's one part that is definitely like unquestionable. It's like
Right.
this is a fucking big game.
Yep.
These are 2 very large games.
There's a lot of stuff to play. But yeah, some of them are handled a lot better than others. for sure.
Yeah.
Some of them just, you know, clearly have more work put into them. I'm trying to think, like, what the best one... It's kind of sad that I'm sitting here thinking, like, what's the best HD remaster that came out over the last couple of years?
Would it be Last of Us, or is it just by virtue of the previous version being kind of ready to go for that stuff?
Hello? Thought you might be salvaged.
Yeah, that might be the one.
You okay?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
You're not okay.
They did a very good job with that thing. So that Dark Souls 2 re-release is coming out in a couple weeks. Trying to think what else. If that Arkham collection ends up happening as is rumored, like those games are really good. That might not be the worst thing.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. Those are two games that I don't have any desire to go back and see again.
I don't think I would go back and play through them again or anything, but...
Over here.
I always find it weird when people become incensed that we complain about all these HD remasters coming out. Like, shouldn't you also expect better?
Yeah, are there people that get incensed about that? That seems like a...
Every time it comes up on the podcast, we get a handful of people that seem to think we shouldn't be so upset about it.
It's like, oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't buy these new consoles to play old games.
Right.
So,
like, I got no problem with these existing. For, you know, if people want them, they're free to buy them. But it's the lack of anything new, or the lack of much new. You know, like there is some new stuff here and there, but it's not. I wouldn't call it abundant.
Yeah.
So this is the moon, huh?
This is the moon. I don't have an oxygen mask yet.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad place to be.
Yeah. I hope I'm going the right way.
Oh, there's just like oxygen pouring out of the surface?
Yeah.
It's convenient.
Yeah, I thought so.
At the same time, having to fight a bunch of stuff standing in one place does not seem like much fun.
Yeah, I might have actually supposed to got the mask up there, and then I jumped down here too soon, and now I'm gonna be doomed no matter what. Because I don't think I can get back up there, really.
That's all right.
Maybe I can.
If that is the case, I think I kind of get the idea here.
Yeah. 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 Well. Anyway.
Borderlands.
That's Borderlands. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it on PS4, so I can't tell you if that version has the tearing of this version.
Yeah.
And the, you know, the frame rate stuff that I saw at home that I don't know. Yeah, it's $60. But yeah, I don't know. It's a, like I said, kind of a weird value thing because the amount of hours of content that you get, you can't really argue with that.
Sure.
Because both of these games are huge and have had a lot of like numerous add-ons and all that sort of stuff.
So it's
just a matter of like, is that interesting to you in any way?
It comes down to how much of that have you already played.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get a quick glance here at the server browser, see if anything comes up, and Brad, I think that's going to be it.
I'm okay with that.
All right. I hope that as they start to embark on another Borderlands game, they take a long look at everything they've done to date, and that's a bunch.
Wow.
And really think about like some ways to make more dramatic changes to.
I agree.
To the formula. I think it needs that. So. Oh yeah, so there's some games here.
Yeah, okay.
No Borderlands 2, I guess. But
I mean, maybe that's how most people are viewing this. Is it like,
like a way to play the pre-sequel?
Right, like a lot of people that skipped the pre-sequel on last gen because they didn't want to buy buy games on old consoles anymore.
Perhaps.
Just kind of decided to wait for this inevitable thing to happen.
Yeah. You may be right.
And then here's your free Borderlands 2 while you're at it.
All right, well, thanks, Brad. That's the Handsome Collection. It's available. You can get it.
All right.